Hello, my name is Dylan with the Anime Summary. A robed masked man is leading the charge towards the village. Back at the village, Aiko is making a request to Hajime and his group, wanting him to save the village from the horde of monsters, persuading him, saying that if he doesn't, the town will be destroyed and all the lives will be lost. Hajime gets up from his seat and starts walking away from the interaction. Aiko gets up asking where he's going, but before leaving, he tells her that the monster army is coming and that he's going to get ready to fight. During the sunset on Hajime's transmuted wall, Aiko wants to know about the preparations for the invasion if there's anything she can do to help out. He uses his eye and sees the robed masked man approaching closer. She tells him to come back safely from the fight at all costs and he smirks. Later in the night, Hajime is checking out his sniper and staying put on the wall. While he is looking ahead waiting for the monsters to approach, he notices Tio hiding behind the tree. She emerges from the tree and asks Hajime for a moment of his time. He stands silently on the wall ignoring her request. He finally responds, demanding to know what she wants, and she replies wanting to join the group on their journeys, offering her body and soul to him. Angrily, he tells her to fudge off and to go back home. The group is on top of the wall with the villagers waiting for his command. From a distance, they notice the monster army a few yards away marching towards them. Hajime gives an inspiring speech to the villagers, motivating them for the battle ahead, already saying that the victory is theirs. Hajime aims his gun and fires one bullet, killing a blast of monsters in one swoop. Hajime uses his machine gun to fire at all the monsters, trying to take them out in one clip. While Hajime is firing rounds, Tio goes up into the sky and uses poisonous magic to eliminate some of the monsters. The masked robed man calls for the monster birds to breach the wall and stop Hajime and his group from destroying his monster army. Hajime easily aims upwards towards the monsters and takes them all out smoothly. Hajime goes into the horde of monsters and from the mountain greets the mysterious man from behind, holding his gun towards him. While he's turned towards Hajime, Shia goes behind him to make sure he doesn't escape. He tries using his wolf to escape but gets shot by Hajime and falls to the ground unconscious. In the morning, Hajime is dragging the robed man through the mountains towards his teacher and old classmates. Aiko notices the man that he's dragging to be one of her students. While sitting down, Aiko demands to know why sending a monster army to hurt people would show how great he is. He tells him that he went north into the mountains to capture a demon. The boy tells Aiko that he made a contract with the demons to eliminate Aiko the sensei. He freaks out being defeated with 60,000 monsters and still lost. He looks over to Hajime, screaming and yelling at him because of the powerful weapons he possesses. Aiko forgives him and suggests to him that they start on a new clean slate and will be rooting for him the whole way through. He doesn't care and in front of everyone gets Aiko in a chokehold. He tells everyone not to move, threatening to stab her with a poisonous needle if anyone does so. Shia tries going for the needle, trying to stop the death of Aiko, but it doesn't matter and he injects her with the poison. The robed student tries fleeing away on the flying monster, but Hajime fires his gun and hits the man, but the flying monster keeps flying and the student falls to the ground. While Aiko is on the ground, being affected by the poison, he drinks healing water from the bottle and feeds it to her, removing the effects of the poison. Aiko sees her student bleeding out on the ground and hurries Hajime to give him the medicine. Hajime asks his former classmate if he's the enemy to him. Hajime knows that he's lying and decides to shoot him, killing him while Aiko, his former classmates, and Shia are at a loss of words, shocked that Hajime did that. He tells her that he wasn't going to change and apologizes that he isn't as kind or trusting anymore, also stating that those who hurt people close to him will have no mercy. The next day, while riding back to town with Will, he demands to know what the reason was for killing Aiko's student. He tells him and the group that he was the enemy. In an underground water prison, a group of men are having a conversation about their capture of a blue-haired beast girl and start preparing for the auction of her and leave. Later that night, back in Fern, Will apologizes to Ilwer for being a burden to him, but he doesn't care and is glad that he's home. The next day, after talking to a fish, in the underground water prison, the beast girl is picked up by Hajime and escorted out of the prison. The owner notices the girl has escaped and knocks out one of his coworkers in anger and orders all of his men to go find the girl. After rescuing the beast girl, Hajime hands her over to authorities not wanting to deal with the problem. She cries in the arms of police and wants to know if Hajime hates her. He doesn't say anything and starts walking off back to his place. While walking through the town, a massive explosion hits the town and she assumes it's the place where they gave her the beast girl, and Hajime runs over there immediately to check it out. Hajime and Shia arrive at the place to see it all in destruction. He runs over to the wounded police on the ground and Shia tells him to come look at something and Hajime runs over. He reads that if they don't want the beast girl to be slain, they hand over Shia instead. Hajime and Shia both want to find the girl and Hajime is their enemy now and smirks. At the auction house, the boss is losing his patience, angrily waiting for his coworkers to show back up with the beast girl. One of his coworkers calls for him to reveal the girl to him and he's pleased. When the auction starts, they reveal the blue beast girl trapped in a water bowl, and the boss kicks on her glass, telling her to scream and cry to put a little show for the audience. Hajime from the roof surprises the boss in calling him a poopy face. He jumps down from the ceiling and lands on the guy, pinning him to the ground. Hajime pulls out his gun and fires, killing the boss instantly. He breaks the bowl and freeing the beast girl again. Hajime starts calling her Miyu and she cries in tears, running over to him and hugging him. Hajime carries her outside, meeting back up with the group. Yui comes over complimenting her, saying that she did a good job today, and she cries in tears in her shirt. Miyu thanks Hajime for being her big brother, but Hajime doesn't want to be called that. Instead, she runs over calling him Papa from now on. Hajime and the group arrive at a small town in the middle of the mountains. In the town, Hajime is carrying Miyu on his back with the group, exploring, looking around the food stands and the fountain. They stop by the mayor's office with Hajime looking for the guild leader. He asks if they are adventurers and introduces himself as Loa. Hajime gives him a letter from the Furring Guild. Loa grabs the letter and thanks him. Loa opens the letter and is surprised that Hajime and his group took out the skeleton army in just one day. The door opens with a man on the ground breathing heavily with a message that there are demons in the labyrinth. Endo, the kid that is tired, is surprised on Hajime's appearance. Endo asks again if he's really Hajime because of the change in appearance. Now knowing that he survived the labyrinth, he runs over to Hajime begging him to go into the labyrinth. Back in the Great Orange Labyrinth, the hero's party is confused on why they haven't encountered any monsters. Shizuku tells them that she has a bad feeling about being in the labyrinth. Endo notices the monster's blood on the ground, showing the group, asking if it is. He tells the group that it's fresh blood for the monsters. A mysterious demon girl calls them out from the shadows and stares the whole hero's party down. She assumes and calls out Koki, asking if he's the hero since the shiny armor. She asks him if she wants to join the demons and he refuses. Since they decline, she orders the monsters to destroy them. Endo says the monsters are on a different level and that they have encountered before and asks Shizuku for any plans. She asks Endo to send a message to Captain Mel because of his particular abilities. She tells him that she can't do it and Endo turns invisible and runs away. Endo tells Hajime and his group that he hurried to relay the message to Meld about the demon, and that he knows the captain is protecting a teleportation crystal on the 70th floor. He arrives in front of him, turning off his invisible cloak, and the captain is surprised. Endo, in pain and tears, tells him about their encounter. Meld comforts him and thanks him for delivering the message. While they are talking, Meld moves Endo out of the way, kicking a monster protecting him. Meld motivates him to carry on and keep moving. Seeing that his soldiers got hurt, he tells Endo not to get distracted and to tell people above about the demon. He runs over to the teleportation crystal, escaping. Loa would like to make a request to Hajime since he assumes that Ilwer says is true. Endo demands for him to go save the hero's party since they are his friends. Hajime gives it to him straight, saying that no one else is his friend anymore and that everyone's a stranger to him and nothing else. On the ground, Endo pleads with him and the group to save them, recalling his relationship with Koori back at the kingdom. In the labyrinth, Hajime one-shots the behemoth from the bridge floor and tells Endo to lead the way down since he's never been down there before. While running, Hajime tells Endo to stop, using his ring and summoning his drill. He uses the drill down towards where the group is at and tells Endo to follow after him. He arrives on the ground, accidentally destroying the two big green monsters and looking around his surroundings. Shizuku is shocked and confused if Hajime is actually Hajime. Endo falls to the ground and tells the group that he brought help. Hajime orders Yui to look after Endo and his old classmates, Shia to go check on the fallen knights, and Tio to take care of his classmates too. The demon is surprised that someone would challenge her, and Hajime tells her that if she doesn't feel like dying, to get the heck out of the labyrinth. The demon feels disgraced by his words and will die by her hands, activating her red eyes. Koki asks his group who the guy in the white hair is, and Endo tells him that it's Hajime. They are all shocked that he's actually Hajime. Hajime finishes all the monsters and comes face to face with the demon. He walks up closer to her with his revolver ready. He starts asking questions about the demons and monsters she got down here, wanting to talk, shooting the legs. His classmates are shocked. She shakes and panics knowing that she's about to be killed. She tells him that his lover will find him and finish off Hajime. He doesn't care who goes for him, trying to kill him, and kills the demon girl, shocking his old classmates. While Koki is sitting on the skeletons, he's mad at the fact that Hajime killed the demon when she wasn't resisting. He questions him on why he did it while walking up the labyrinth. Hajime tells him that it's kill or be killed in the world and that he had to do it. He tells him that if he gets in the way, he will kill him, pointing his gun at him without hesitating. On the surface, Koori tells Hajime that he wants to join his party and confesses her feelings to him. He tells her that he has feelings for someone else and can't reciprocate hers. He is shocked when Yui says that Koori can tag along and does so. The next morning at the gate, Shizuku wishes Koori a safe trip with Hajime and they embark on their journeys through the desert. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.